please just stay with us as we try to get to know Billie well. Okay, so ayan. If you have any questions, once again, please don't hesitate to drop at the comment section. Okay, we will definitely ask your questions directly to Billie. Okay, all right. So,
Please go
um,
easy on me.
so Billie, once again, how have you been spending ECQ since the beginning?
I never actually thought that it's gonna be this big. So
Mm-mm,
when I went back to Cebu, I thought of just staying here for siguro mga 3 days lang. And then
mm-mm,
after my flight, like right away, like day after, parang nagkaroon na ng announcement of ECQ, and then flights
mm.
will be temporarily parang halted muna
Suspended.
lahat. So, okay, so what now? I really didn't know what to do, and I'm alone here. So, I sort of got into a bit of, I don't want to say depression because it's not as bad as depression, but I was
Mm-mm,
really down. I was really sad and super anxious because my family is in Cavite, and
mm-mm,
I'm really worried because they're so close to Manila. And so yeah, medyo nag-freak out ako at the beginning. Hindi ko alam kung paano ko gagamitin yung so much time in my hands. But then I was able to talk to my team, my Aces and Queens family, and Miss Universe Philippines cleared out how everything is gonna be for us, and just to
mm-mm,
stay put and everything. So medyo nakakakalma siya. And the fact that I have some people to talk to is a big plus. So most of them are
mm-mm,
my Aces and Queens family. Tapos, they gave us a few tips on how to manage our time well. Parang to focus lang on the pageant muna. Focus on yourself, improve yourself, get
mm-mm,
into this state of mind na everything will get better. Something like that. And
mm-mm.
then, yeah, medyo nakaraos ako from that level of sadness.
Actually, parang ano yun eh, parang part of anxiety kasi yun eh. Yun yung big part kasi na parang we get, yun yung big part na natatamaan sa atin
Yeah.
during this season talaga. During this season, during this crisis talaga. So, um, how did you handle those situation na parang, yeah, well, we cannot deny that our mental health is really impacted.
Yeah, sobra. That's entirely true. And everyone has their different type of coping mechanism. And for
Mm-mm.
me, it might be, it might sound funny, pero I do the laundry a lot. So that's one way of dealing with stress. I do the
Mm-mm.
laundry, I clean the house, I organize everything. Parang everything na chaotic in my head will
Mm-mm.
be fixed. Yun sa
Mm-mm.
feeling ko, it will be fixed if my surrounding is organized, is neat, is clean. So as much as possible,
Mm-mm.
yun yung ginagawa ko. And then I try to focus on reading instead of going through social media, which is already a thing for me. Even before the pageant, I don't really like to go about with social media. I don't like dealing with posting and sharing stuff. That's my thing. Natatakot ako to share false information. So as much as possible, I limit what I share to people. So
Mm-mm.
yun mostly yung ginagawa ko during quarantine. And also I try to support some organizations because it's kind of hard for me to go out because I am alone, and I, as much as I want to volunteer and be productive, it's sort of impossible for me because I'm not in my province and I don't really know how the government of Cebu is doing things here. So for those who don't
Mm-mm.
know, I'm living in Cebu. And pero some organizations called me and sent me a few messages asking for donations. So I supported a few donation drives based in Cavite, and some organizations which I listed down in one of the blogs where I was featured. If I may plug it, kay
Yeah,
Tito
sure, go ahead.
Norman. So yeah, from
Mm-mm.
Tito Norman. So he listed down all the organizations na tinulungan ko during quarantine.
Mhm. Oh, let's just clarify that out. So, Billy is staying or living in Cebu, but she's not a Cebuana. She's
No.
actually from Cavite, ganyan. yun nga lang, nakatira lang siya sa Cebu for work lang. Okay? So, doon lang siya naabutan ng lockdown, ng ECQ ka nga, di ba? Di ba,
Mm.
Billy? Baka mamaya isipin lang, Cebuana ka pala.
Oo nga,
Ganyan.
baka
So,
ma-judge ako. Nothing wrong about
so
being Cebuana. I mean, Cebuanas
yeah,
are
there's a,
beautiful. Oh my God, we have,
mm-hmm.
ilan ba? Tatlo? Sa Miss
Dalawang,
Universe?
dalawang Miss Universe Philippines na ang Cebuana.
No,
So that was Pilar Pilapil.
from the current competition.
From the current competition,
Si
marami
April, si
sila. Si
Maureen,
April, si
si
Maureen,
Lou,
at saka si Lou. Si Tracy, yan, diba? Si
Tracy.
Maureen. So, Cebu City, Cebu Province, and Mandaue.
Yeah.
So, tatlo sa Miss Universe Philippines ang Cebuana. So, yun. Pero, yun nga, um, dalawang Cebuana ang Miss Universe Philippines. That was Pilar
Mm.
Pilapil at saka si Gazina Ganados ni
Gazini.
recently. So napaka-powerhouse talaga ng
Diba?
Cebu, 'di ba? So privilege talaga kapag sinabihan kang Cebuana.
True. True.
Pero yun na, i-clarify lang natin na she is not from Cebu. Okay? So she's in Cebu just for work. So moving forward, um, sabi mo nga kanina, no, 'di ba, yung mga ginagawa natin ngayon is you were mentioning a while back about the drives that you've been doing, ganyan. So, ano naman yung learning mo dun sa mga ginawa mo, especially during this crisis, ganyan. What is that one thing that you have learned the most?
I never really had an actual picture in mind as to how
Mm-hmm.
difficult the situation is for most people. I know life as it is different for so many Filipinos, even without this pandemic. Pero after receiving a lot of messages asking for help, that's when it hit me na it's not going to be good for so many people. So in Cavite, we have a town called General Mariano Alvarez. It's the youngest town of Cavite, and we have a lot of indigenous brothers and sisters there who were having a hard time coping up with the pandemic, and they just weren't ready. So there's a foundation there in partnership with Mr. and Miss GMA who started a drive called Bente para sa Residente. So it's donation drive asking for at least 20 pesos, like spare at least 20 pesos. What is 20 pesos for most of us? It's a load, not even a load, because most people will get what, 50 peso load. We get Starbucks coffee. We accumulate so many things, and these people are only asking for 20 pesos from our pockets. So this is one of the things that I supported, and they were able to provide relief goods for families who were majorly affected by the pandemic. And one take home from this is to not take things for granted, especially whatever we have, because as little things as 20 pesos can go a long way. And these are usually the things that we overlook. So that's my takeaway from all the organizations that I tried to help.
Well, that's nice, no? Kahit pa paano, malaking tulong na ang nagagawa nyo, yung nagkakaroon na kayo ng voice ngayon as a candidate pa lang, di ba? So, at least you get exposed to make use of the privileges that you are already having right now, di ba?
Yes, you can say that, yes.
And yeah, moving forward dun sa pageant sa MUP. So if I remember, last year you had a long hair.
Yes,
So,
I did.
so what inspired you, or what came to your mind that you have decided to cut your hair that very short?
So prior to joining pageants at all, like even before pa yung sinilihan ko last year, which was Miss World, I already had short hair. So if you're gonna look for proof, just scroll on my Instagram and Facebook. You'll see that my hair was already I had a pixie cut before, even before Miss Universe Philippines. Some would say
Mm,
that it's a strategy, maybe, but for the most part, it's because I am very comfortable with sporting short hair. And if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I never even planned to join Miss Universe Philippines. It's a
mm,
spur of the moment kind of thing. I never saw it coming. It wasn't in my plan for the year. Kasi
mm,
last year nga, I just finished Miss World. So another journey of pageantry is not practical for me because I'm working. But then I was
mm,
invited to join. So, okay, why not? Let's give it a last go. And explanation naman for the long hair. So for people who don't know pageantry as much, what girls do is that they try to check what pageants are looking for with their queens. So for
mm,
Miss World at that time, based on my team's research, they're looking for a very feminine, very demure, parang
mm,
feminine, as in long hair, feminine.
mm,
So
mm,
I tried to grow my hair out for half a year, kasi
mm,
it's a 1 year long
mm.
preparation for me for Miss World. But after that, I had to chop my hair off because I didn't plan on joining another pageant again. And then Miss Universe came along. So that's
Mm.
why I have short hair now.
Kasi parang ano eh, baka mamaya um, tawag dito, ma-associate ka kay, for example, kay Miss Vietnam, kay Miss Jamaica noong 2014, mga ganun.
Yeah.
Kasi these ladies were sporting short hairs talaga sa Miss Universe. Kaya. So, um, nung nakita ka, actually, hindi ako nagtaka, hindi na myself ha. I'm speaking for myself, hindi ako nagtaka why you're sporting short hair. I never thought of you are also trying to to imitate or parang ganon, parang to imitate or to be a copycat of Miss
Miss Vietnam and
Vietnam,
Miss
'di ba?
Jamaica.
So Miss pero kasi nandun na rin kasi yung ano eh yung um kung saan ka talaga komportable eh.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Yun kasi ang mas importante eh. Para sa akin, if you believe that if you are confident enough to sport short hairs, why not, 'di ba?
And
Mm.
I don't think it's just a matter of being confident. It's also because
Mm.
it saves so much time. Can you imagine if
Mm.
with my line of work, I work as a flight attendant, every single day I have to do my hair and makeup. I save at
Mm.
least an hour because of my hair. I don't have to put it in a bun anymore. So it's actually a matter of practicality for me. It's not um because I saw Miss Vietnam do it, but I don't see anything wrong with
Mm.
being compared to her. I mean, she's gorgeous. Have you seen her?
Mm.
Like, diba?
Yes.
Sobra, she has a very impactful presence on stage, which is brought
Mm.
about by her confidence that
Mm.
only a few girls and a few females can carry with the
Mm.
short hair that she has. So that's
Mm.
how I see it.
Yeah. From the time that Miss Universe Philippines kicked off, no. So nung presentation na ganyan, up to now ganyan. So napapansin ka palagi. Ganyan. So how do you feel about that?
Extremely flattered and
Mm.
extremely surprised. I never thought that I would reach, well, okay, given my performance from last year, I
Mm.
expected that I will not be a household name. Kasi from last year, hindi din naman ako household name.
Mm.
And sobrang nagulat ako that this year I can see myself in the, I mean, I've been seeing my pictures from the top
In hot
picks,
pics,
and
yeah.
I didn't know how to absorb it. And I have fans messaging me, and there are times na parang hindi ko na alam kung sinong uunahin ko na replyan, because as much as
Mm.
possible I try to reply to all of them, but
Mm.
it's just really flattering. Like, even with or without the crown, I'm already very grateful for all the um for people appreciating what I'm doing.
Mm. And um ano yung nararamdaman mo whenever nakikita mo yung pangalan mo na nasa, so for example, nasa top 10 at top 15, mga ganyan?
Kilig, syempre. Super kilig.
Uh,
Because
Oo.
if you would, I'm used to my family and my friends appreciating the way I
Mm.
present myself. but for other people to do it, it's a different level of killing. So
Mm-mm.
yeah.
All right. So, we all know what Miss Universe or Miss Universe Philippines is looking for. Diba? So, it has evolved a lot. So, well, if we notice, ganyan, they keep on, they are actually consistent that they're looking for a spokesperson.
Mhm.
What can you say about that?
I think it's about time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about time that
Mm-hmm.
they look for someone who can actually speak, who can actually represent the organization in a way that she can address certain issues to
Mm-hmm.
different types of people, to people from all walks of life. And whether it be in Tagalog, in Bisaya, or in English, no matter what kind of language and dialect, I think it's about time that we evolve
Mm-hmm.
from getting traditional beauties so on
Yeah,
stage.
sa tingin mo, necessary ba na ang isang spokesperson or Miss Universe spokesperson ay at least could speak English, mga ganun, or should a spokesperson or okay lang sa spokesperson sa isang spokesperson na hindi siya marunong mag-English ganyan.
Okay, here's the thing. Having little knowledge of English, I think, is
Mm.
acceptable. But having zero knowledge at all, I don't think. I think it's good. There's gonna be a problem. Pero with the evolving technology, and we have people who can translate things for us, and
Mm.
I think it can work. And the most important thing is that you can deliver your thoughts. You can um, yeah, share whatever you're thinking, what your ideas are, no matter
Mm.
what kind of language you're using. So I
Mm.
think that's the most important part. It's not what words you're using, it's what you're saying.
Mm. Kasi siyempre, di ba, ang laging sinasabi na kapag kayong isang candidate kasi this time, hindi siya nakapag-English, ganyan. So
Mm-hmm.
parang nagiging minus points na sa kanila. So, um, yeah, parang sa tingin mo ba, kailangan ba na, is it necessary for Miss Universe Philippines to provide at least an interpreter as well um, during the question and answer competition para yung mga candidates could speak their mother tongue?
Yes, I think it's
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine. I think it's perfectly
Mm-hmm.
okay. Like in the first place, the international pageant is and has been providing interpreters to
Yes.
for
Mm-hmm.
their queens, and why not do it here? I mean, why do we have to force girls to just speak a certain or just a specific or single language when in
Mm-hmm.
fact we have so many? And it will be good for a girl to speak English because it's a very it's it's a
It's
uniting
universal,
language.
yeah.
It's yeah, and it's sort of uniting because
Mm-hmm.
everyone can sort of understand what you're saying. Pero if you can deliver your thoughts better with your mother tongue, then why
Mm-hmm.
not provide an interpreter then?
Diba? Mm. So, yun na nga eh. Kasi yun parang nagiging issue sa atin well, for once kasi laging ang sinasabi natin, hindi naman siya marunong mag-English. Mahina yung communication skills niya. So, better look for someone who could actually speak well. So, yun yung nagiging laging issue natin. Now, moving forward naman, ano naman yung um, ma-offer mo sa Miss Universe Philippines as
um
coming from Cavite? Yeah.
First up, I am different. I would like
Mm-hmm.
to consider myself as different. I don't I'm not your typical beauty queen, if I may say so. I don't spend a lot of time posting on social media about myself, my selfies or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. In all honesty, I would rather um, read books. I would rather discuss important topics with my friends, and this types of insights is my major contributing factor to Miss Universe. Philippines, Miss Universe Philippines. Let's go there muna. Wag muna sa Miss
Mm-mm.
Universe. And yeah, by being different alone is a major contributing factor.
Mm. Oh, well, we cannot deny naman na all of us are actually unique and different. So, we can all offer something naman when it comes to, uh, well, to talent, skills, ganyan, and of course, knowledge. So, yeah,
And
even the
also, don't get
wisdom,
me
we can
wrong.
all.
What I
Mm-hmm,
meant with different is
mm-hmm,
like not being traditional. Yun na lang. Not being traditional queen. Because
unconventional.
yes, because everyone
Uh,
is different indeed. So
mm-mm. Yeah, at least unconventional.
yeah.
Yan, di ba? Mhm. And sino yung sino yung pinaghuhugutan mo ng ng strength during this journey with Miss Universe Philippines?
I hope I can answer that question, but I really can't because I haven't experienced a time during my journey in Miss Universe where I felt the need to pull a strength from an outside from somewhere else apart from myself.
Mm-mm.
Because the way I see it is just take everything one step at a time. Um,
Mm-mm.
a journey starts with a single step. I don't have to look forward to everything. I don't have to stress myself out with the outcome. Just finish everything one day at a time. So
Mm-mm.
that's how I deal with Miss Universe Philippines. Hindi ako yung kailangan planado na lahat.
Mm-mm.
Kailangan, alam mo yon, I'm a micromanager pero I take it on a daily basis. Hindi yung
Mm-mm.
super stressed because everything has to be planchado na.
Oh,
So,
parang in place na lahat, parang
yeah.
ganun. Oh. What about the support coming from your family?
Um,
Mm-mm.
if I'm gonna be perfectly honest, my parents initially they don't really want me to join pageantry. They don't like
Mm-mm.
me. They don't like the idea of me being a model. That's that was during my 16. That was when I was still 16. But then they saw that okay, we can't do anything about it. She really likes to do such things. She really likes to join pageantry. She really likes modeling. So just let her be. She knows what she's doing. And I think their trust alone
Mm-mm.
is one way of showing their support for me. So, hindi sila yung type of parents na ipupush ka talaga. Sumali ka dyan, maganda yan for you. No, they're very practical people. They want me to just do my job, save, and then have a better future because I have a secure job. So,
Mm-mm.
they are those types of people. So, I don't get the typical parent support. Not from them.
But if I remember correctly, no, I think you started joining pageants, with Binibining University, and I think you've
Yes.
won a crown, in
Yeah.
Binibining University. Tama
Yes.
ba? Mm-hmm.
Opo.
Mm-mm.
And there's a funny story about that. It's my very
Mm-hmm.
first pageant. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I only had four audiences: my mom, my dad, my uncle, and my aunt. At that time, it was held in AFP Theater,
Mm-mm.
and my parents, my family never knew that I'm a part of a pageant. Ang alam lang nila is I am doing a school project. I know, I'm sorry, mom. I told I told them that they have to be at the AFP theater because we have a presentation where we have to have guests.
Mm-hmm.
So pumunta sila doon and then they saw this huge banner outside the theater with my face on it. So imagine their surprise when they saw that this is a pageant, it's not a school project. So I'm sorry. But then they're super happy naman after I won because the crowd was really big, and then even with four audiences, I was ecstatic. Sobrang,
Uh-uh.
that's enough support I need.
Parang I can't really imagine how they reacted, no? Nung nakita
At
ka
saka kung
doon.
paano ko natago yun
Mm.
sa kanila. Like, paano ko natago
Mm.
yung heels, yung gowns, yung...
'Di ba? So paano ka nakakuha ng mga gamit mo?
Everything was
Mm. Provided
provided
for.
for me. Because I didn't
Mhm.
really know anyone in the industry before. As in,
Mm.
I'm such a newbie. I was only 16. So, I
Mm.
didn't know anyone or anything yet, and no
So,
trainings
sino
whatsoever.
yung ano, sino nag-ano sa'yo, nag-encourage sa'yo to at least join?
So I don't know if you know Miss Brenna Gamboa.
Mm-hmm.
She was a former Binibining Universidad winner also. She also joined Binibining Pilipinas, and she was Miss World 2013, I think, fourth princess during
Mm-hmm.
Queenie Rich Reman's reign. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she sort of we were under the same modeling agency or modeling camp, and after she won, our head Sir Joff Illurin scouted more girls to join pageantry, and in partnership with my school, they sort of encouraged me to join. Well, if I'm going to be perfectly honest again, I'm sorry. I I I didn't like pageantry before. I was sort of a feminist. I didn't like girls parading in bikinis and
Mm-hmm.
the way they presented on stage. I am not a fan. But after Binibining Universidad, after a few activities with them, totally changed my mind.
Mm. Oh, feminist actually caught my attention. Okay,
Hmm.
so can you tell us more about the feminism philosophy, or
Hmm.
can you help us understand what feminism is?
It's actually not that hard. The main thing you have to understand is we want equality, number one, which is
Mm-hmm.
a common thing for everyone. We all want
Mm-hmm.
equality. We want to be treated as equals. Apart from equality is equity. These are two main things that we want. We want to be treated fairly. We want to be given the same rights, the same opportunities as our male counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone can relate to this, it should be our brothers and sisters from the LGBTQ plus family, because they are
Mm-hmm.
also insisting for not tolerance
Quality, yeah.
anymore. It's
Mm-hmm.
acceptance, it's inclusivity, and if anything else, what we want is a world of equality and equity. So equal
Mm-hmm.
opportunities from everyone. That's all we want.
Oh yeah. I I definitely understand where feminism is actually coming from, especially kasi that the world has actually it's actually well the world has grown in a very patriarchal
Yes.
setting. So definitely I understand where it is coming from. So this is just for every one of us in here na laging negative kasi ang ano negative
Yes. A
kasi
connotation
ang
with being feminine. Yeah.
connotation with being feminist ganyan. So yeah, she's actually correct. There's nothing wrong with being a feminist. It's just about the belief and yung the belief and oh yeah, it's just a belief actually that everyone is equal. There's no one that's basically left behind
Yes.
regardless of our sex. Yeah, regardless of our sexes actually. It doesn't actually um limit any one of us, diba?
Yes.
Na pwedeng gawin kung ano yung kayang gawin ng other sexes. Tama.
Thank you for elaborating.
Yeah. No, kasi nga, I totally understand that. Kasi nga, coming from philosophy school, ganyan, theology school, ganyan. So I definitely understand the history, the background, the concept of feminism. So,
It's
yun.
actually a really tough
Mm.
topic for me to discuss because I get
Yes.
really riled up and I get really
Mhm.
excited about topics such as feminism. So right now I
Mhm.
am struggling to keep everything down. I'm struggling to just calm down, just chill. This is
Yeah.
just a casual interview. We're not
This
in
is
a
a very
debate.
casual. Yes, that's right. But putting it very simple, in a very simple way, or in a very simple seat, ganyan nga. So hindi feminism is not actually a revolution against
Men.
masculinity.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not actually a revolution. It's just about calling for equality, ganyan.
Yes.
Yeah. So ganun lang siya. Ganun lang talaga yung thoughts of feminism. Okay?
Bravo.
Ano, pati ako tuloy na ano. No, I had professors kasi back in the days no na feminism din siya. Actually,
Mhm.
she's a very strong woman. Hindi ko alam kung naabutan mo siya sa Benild ka, di ba? Lasal.
Hindi po, Saint Dominic, Cavite.
Isa hindi naman yung Cavite. So, um, meron kasi akong professor nun. So, nasa Lasal siya ngayon. So, ganun talaga yung ano niya, yung line of thought niya. It's very feminism. So, therefore, kaya naintindihan ko. At, yan.
Yeah, we can get really
Anyway,
intense.
oo, pero magandang feminism. Okay, so may tanong pala tayo ngayon dito, Billie. Yeah.
Ito na yung mga
Mm-hmm.
questions.
Questions coming from our online viewers. So, if you're about to talk in front of the 13 martyrs of Cavite, so Trece
Teresa
Martires, yan.
Martinez, yes.
Mm-mm. What would be the most important message you want them to hear from you as a representation of today's generation?
Can I just ask again, just to clarify, I will be
Mm-hmm.
talking to the 13 martyrs.
Yes, you will be talking to 13 martyrs, and what is that something that you wanted to listen from them?
What
So parang
I want,
what kind of advice, parang yeah, isi-simplify ko lang ha, what kind of advice or what message that you wanted to listen from them?
okay, from
Mhm.
them.
That is to represent the youth for today now.
Okay.
Ang haba ng question niya.
I know. So, number one, I would want to see how they get to live at that time. And if anything, I can imagine that their lives at that time is extremely hard, extremely hard, extremely unfair, in that the world that we're living in, as for the youth, is nothing compared to what they experienced before. And if I want to learn something from them, that would be how they strive to survive for that long without losing hope and still being patriotic and still having so much love and trust for the country, which is how we achieved our sovereignty as of now. So I want to learn to achieve that kind of hoping and idealism, which I would want to share to our youth today.
Okay, so ayun. Thank you, Kirby Hernando, for that
Thank you,
question. No,
Kirby. Ang hirap ng question mo, Kirby.
Actually, may susunod pa siyang tanong. Pero the second question is coming from Crowns and Titles Philippines. So on social media, everything is made public. For you, what do you think should remain private and why?
A lot of things should remain private. Um,
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we have to filter and limit all the things that go across our minds. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've quoted Miss Pia words back before, and I would want to do it again. Her famous "think before you click" is a
Mm-hmm.
must. Um,
Yes.
the world, the world doesn't deserve every single thing about you. You should keep
Mm-hmm.
some stuff for yourself. You should keep some stuff for very specific type of people, and you should have an authentic piece of yourself left for you. The world should
Mm-hmm.
only have a glimpse. The social media should only have a glimpse of what you want them to see. This goes for the girls also who joins pageantry. For some, they would think na, she's joining pageantry and she's showing everything to them. Number one, going on a bikini on stage. No, that's not the case. We are only showing you 10% of who and what we are. And
Mm-hmm.
that goes for everyone else also. So that's what I
Yeah,
think.
because yeah, I totally agree with you with that. Kasi nga, what basically we see, ganyan, does not actually manifest everything about you.
Yes.
'Di ba? Kasi, oh, that's just basically a glimpse of who you are. Oh, kasi nga well, there is always something that we keep in ourselves private, especially sa mga love life, ganyan.
Should
Kapag
be.
ka, ano, kapag ka nagmahal ang isang beauty queen, no one among the fans should actually go across that. 'Di
Hmm.
ba? O no one
Yes,
should go against it kasi nga 'di ba? It's your private life.
kahit
The
sobrang
end of
nakaka-intriga.
Mm-mm. Exactly,
No.
kasi at the end of the day, it wouldn't be the fans it wouldn't be the fans and the beauty queen will live together 'di
Yes.
ba?
And at the end of the day, you would want
Uh,
to have a life na
na,
lived by you and your loved
oo,
ones. So,
exactly, 'di
keep something
ba?
private.
Oo. So whenever we see whenever we hear a beauty queen falling in love with someone ganyan, regardless na gaano man siya kaayaw natin, ganyan, that's
Mm.
just basically our preference. That's
Yes.
our personal preference. So avoid putting our preference to the preferences of the beauty queens.
Yes.
Yan. Nanermon.
Diba?
Hindi kasi, alam mo sa totoo lang, ako din, naano kasi ako parang naiirita ako sa mga ganon. Yung mga parang, fans ka, so what? You are fans. So, na-acknowledge ka as fans, ganyan.
Yes.
Na-acknowledge ka as supporter, ganyan. Yes, you can be friends, ganyan. Pero, kahit nga yung kaibigan, walang pakialam ang kaibigan kapag ikaw ay umibig, diba? So, yun ang lagi
Kinakabahan ako
nating
sa palove
tandaan.
life. Parang palove life yung yung track mo dito sa mga sagot mo. Kinakabahan
Exactly.
ako.
Exactly. Yun ang susunod kong tanong.
Sabi na nga, ba eh. Kaya
Yan.
pinapawisan ako eh.
So, is there someone supporting you other than your family?
Yes.
Mhm.
My former
So,
professors.
parang nililihis mo rin. nililihis mo rin. Well,
No, okay, sige, fine. Love
mm,
life
mm,
wise, I have a boyfriend.
mhm.
He is my colleague. He works for Cebu Pacific also.
Yan. So, narinig natin lahat. So, she's not single. She's in a relationship. She's in a relationship. Okay. Anyway, Billy, we have another question here coming from Catriona Grehay. And Grehay talaga. So, if you have the power to do anything you wish to improve the status of women in the country, what would you do?
I want to completely eradicate violence against women.
Mm-mm.
If um if I may say so, the current statistic shows that one in every four Filipina has experienced physical, emotional, and sexual harassment and abuse throughout her lifetime. And this has to change. I am an advocate
Mm-mm.
for women empowerment. And the first thing that we should do is to start tackling the issues at home. Everything starts at home. And uh, at home, because that's where attitudes and uh, yeah, that's where it can be addressed and changed. And we should start working with families at first. And then next would be at schools. Schools
Mm-mm.
should educate children, not just girls, but children as a whole, whether they be boys or girls. They should know about women's rights and
Mm-mm.
gender equality. And we should have stronger implementation of the law because we have perfectly set upon series of laws. It's already there, but then the implementation is not as good as we want them to be. And next would be for the girls, for those who experience violence, to come out and speak. You have to report such instances so that we can know the current situation, how bad it is in our country, and one out of four women, one out of four Filipina is a lot. And worldwide, the statistics is one out of three. That's 35% of the total number of women worldwide. And
Mm-mm.
it's saying so much. Like, it is just right that we are fighting for women empowerment because this has to stop. So that's one
Mm-mm.
thing that I want to address about women empowerment.
Yeah. Picking from that, women empowerment, Billy. So, of course, very, sa ano
Nagigigil
kasi,
na naman
very,
ako, sorry ha.
um, ang ano kasi, ang divorce kasi ay lagi, ang biktima kasi dito, well, sa ano ko, sa perspective ko, ang biktima kasi lagi dito, babae, right?
Divorce, sorry,
Oo, sa
divorce.
divorce. So, in divorce, do you think that the Philippines is now ready to legalize divorce? Why do you say
Um,
so?
there's a lot of aspects that would tell us that it's not ready. One of which is religion. We are still so
Mm-mm,
inclined to Catholicism, and that's one
mm-mm,
thing that's stopping the divorce in our country. But giving the data that the victim, most of the female victim experiences this through the hands of their spouses, through the hands
mm-mm,
of their partner, their husbands. It's one solution to eradicate violence against women. They should at least have that option. So honestly, I am torn because I
mm-mm,
totally respect the religion, but then again, women should still have the option to be separated from someone who hurts them. So
mm-mm.
that's my take on it.
But we also have annulment kasi eh.
Yes, but
By
it
the
takes
way,
time and it's very
yeah,
expensive.
yeah. Let us just clarify that annulment and divorce is are totally different. So, kapag sinabi kasi nating annulment, that's pag-void sa sa kasal.
Yeah.
So that means kapag nag-annul ka, from the very beginning, there was what we call ano nga ba to? Ah, nakalimutan ko yung term. There's what we call impediment. Okay, so parang may kasinungalingan kasi kunyari kasinungalingan from the very beginning ganyan that can be considered as impediment for annulment. So yun yung sa annulment. Pero sa divorce kasi it's light lang, dissolution lang kasi siya. So iba yung pag-void sa dissolution or pag di-dissolve lang dun sa sa kasal. Alright? So, yun yung difference nung annulment at saka um, sa divorce. By the way, you mentioned a while ago na mahal ang
It
divorce sa
is
Philippines.
expensive, yes.
Like how much?
I'm sorry, but I've had a friend who
Mm-mm,
went through so much, and she had researched and asked around about annulment, and
mm-mm.
one of her lawyers said that she has to equip herself with at least 300,000, at least.
Billie, contact me after this. I can I can recommend someone who can actually
Yeah, yeah.
who can actually help. 30,000 will do.
And giving
Mhm.
this fact that the
Mm,
fact that you know some people to
mm,
para it can be a lot less a lot cheaper means that
mm,
it's very exclusive, meaning not everyone
mm.
has access to cheaper lawyers I mean a means to
Well,
dissolve this marriage. It's not as easy. So
gusto kong i-clarify yan. Um, yun kasi yung yung parang naging connotation when it comes to divorce na parang ang mahal niya. Pero ang ano lang ha. Well, this is for everybody talaga. Ganyan. Ay, ang annulment pala. Nangakala ng lahat ang annulment ay napakamahal. Pero
mahal.
no. Um, mura lang talaga siya. So at least 30,000 will actually do.
But
Kasi
still,
nga
30,000 is
mhm,
still a lot.
yun lang. So
Especially if, let's say,
mm,
the girl is,
mm,
or the wife is not really
mm,
earning because the guy is the breadwinner of the family. Where will she get thirty
mm,
thousand? So these things are still
mm,
very difficult to come by.
mm. Yeah, so kaya kailangan lang talaga right lawyer ang kailangan
Yes.
mahanap. At saka alam niyo, yung mga canon lawyers lang talaga makakatulong dyan. So, yun yung hanapin niyo, yung canon lawyer. Key.
I love this type of discussion. Alam
Uh-huh.
mo yun, parang if
Mm.
someone comes across these types of discussion, they would learn so much, like about
Yeah.
divorce, about annulment, and yeah, I'm glad I accepted this interview.
Oy, thank you. Hindi
Sobrang
kasi,
informative.
kasi nga, alam mo yun, parang nahihiya ako. Ganun.
Ay!
hindi, hindi, hindi kasi, I know someone kasi na who handles, I know someone who is actually a canon lawyer, and yeah, we've been talking about this, and I also studied canon law. Canon law, so
Mm,
I definitely know how much would it take, and yeah, how much it cost, ganyan, and how long would it take dapat yung ideal length nung nung process, ganyan. So it's just a matter of cooperation talaga between the parties.
mhm.
So actually, it won't take that long talaga. Just like the divorce, din ganyan, napakadali lang. Ang difference lang kasi, sa annulment kasi, may process kasi na kailangan gawin mo pa sa sa simbahan kasi kailangan mo pang gawin sa civil. Where in
Yes.
fact, sa civil kasi, ang gagawin mo, ay sa divorce kasi sa civil lang. You
Mhm.
cannot, you cannot process divorce kasi sa simbahan. So, that is why, yun lang yung nagiging anyway.
Major difference.
Yun yung medyo difference doon. So, kaya parang mas mabilis sa divorce kasi nga, civil lang yung inaayos. Yun.
Mhm.
Yan. Something that you
I
should learn from
know.
it. Anyway,
See, I
moving
have my
forward.
pen in my notebook just so if I have intakes from you.
Talaga lang. Nakakahiya.
Ready.
Okay. Nakakahiya naman. Oh my God. Parang na-pressure ako sa'yo, Billy. So, Billy, may question si Catriona Grehe ulit. Oh, thank you so much for that, Catriona Grehe, pala sa questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
You triggered so much discussion. Thank you.
Yeah. Ito pa, meron pa palang question si Kirby Hernando. Sabi ni
Hi, Kirby.
Kirby, Caviteños are known to be brave. What what is, if there's any, something you will never fight for?
Hmm. Is there something I will never fight
Yeah.
for?
What is that something, if there's any, that you will never fight for?
Injustice.
Mm-hmm.
Like for someone who strives for equality and who fights for inclusivity and acceptance, injustice is a big no-no for me and is something that I will
Mm-hmm.
never fight for and will not hear of it. So
Mm-hmm.
if I see something that is not treated fairly, something or someone,
Mm-hmm.
um, I have to step up. I have to do something. Injustice.
Mm-hmm. Diba? O, ayun, ayun, Kirby. Thank you so much for that, Kirby. So, si Catriona na naman, may naman siya, may tanong.
Hoy,
Ah,
dalawa lang yung audience natin. Nasasad ako.
hindi, meron actually pa. Meron pa. May mga nagtatanong, kaya lang sila yung, sila yung mahilig magkakasunod-sunod lang na questions.
You go, flood.
Si, si Catriona, when women make up 49% of the global workforce, what do you believe is the most important issue facing women in the workplace today, and why?
Issue. Most important
Mm-hmm.
issue. Um,
Yes.
there is a lot, but let's go for something that is close to my heart, which is again violence against women. I work in an airline industry and I face this on a daily basis. Now, I know it doesn't sound good, it doesn't sound right because it really isn't. We receive such harassments, not just from
Mm-hmm.
colleagues, but also from customers, from clients. And this is
Mm-hmm.
one thing that females face in the
Mm-hmm.
workplace that should stop. So,
Ayan. Thank you so much, Catriona. And from Chubbs Chabelito. Ayan, o, diba? May Chubbs Chabelito.
hi po.
When is the right time to listen, and when is the right time to speak?
It is always right to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is always the right time to listen. we should always accept information and have it in our hearts and in our minds to process it, and not repel right away. Um, to talk, however, is when you are sure about what you're saying, you are sure about your facts, your figures,
Mm-mm.
and you know that what you're saying is um, important and is gonna be of help to other people and yourself. So,
Ayun. So thank you so much, Shabs Chabalito. Ako naman ang ano ko doon, simple lang ang sagot ko doon. When is the right time to listen? When there's someone that's still speaking. And when is the right, oh, when there's someone still talking, when there's still someone who's talking, and when is the right time to speak? When they actually ask me to speak. Yun lang. Yun lang yun, Chabs Chabelito. Kapag hindi ka hiningan ng ano,
ng opinion, tumahimik ka
oo,
na lang.
tumahimik,
Ganon.
totoo, oo. Ayan. So, Crown's entitled PH, Philippines. So, how would um how would the world be different if women were judged solely on their achievements rather than their looks?
Hmm. That's a tough question. That's a tough question because I think first of all, basing it solely on achievement would be desirable, but
Mm-hmm.
basing it on what they can do, on the other hand, would be so much better, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Um, there are people who haven't had the chance to prove themselves, hence they don't have enough achievements yet. But we know that they have the skills, hence we should give them the opportunity to step up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should not judge too early based on beauty, based on
Mm-hmm.
achievement, but then give them the opportunity to prove themselves.
Mm. Ayun. Napakabigat nun. So,
I hope
do
I
you...
am answering you. I hope you get my point with whatever I'm answering.
Oo naman. So, another question from Catriona. Do you think you could be a good Catholic if you believe in R.H. Bell?
Hmm. Reproductive health bill, I think, is
Mm-hmm.
a right and is an option that has to be given to
Mm-mm.
women and men. Um, Actually, I will be biased on this one, which will be benefiting for women.
Mm-mm.
We should have a choice over our own bodies, and we are in an evolving world where different types of diseases come up on a daily basis, and it's it's a really old thing for us to think that a bill such as RH bill will hindrance our faith in God or
Mm-mm.
our faith in a higher being.
Mm-mm.
So my take on it is it is a right. It should be considered as a right.
Yes, I agree with that. Just to further explain din, no? Just to further explain din, well, for on my own opinion na lang.
Okay, go.
Mm-mm. Ano kasi RH Bell kasi, ang iniisip kasi ng mga, well, religious groups, no,
Yes.
is parang advanced kasi na once na naging legal yung RH Bell, there could be a tendency kasi that women and men would abuse it, which
Mm-hmm.
is actually correct.
True. It's true.
However kasi, looking at the other side of the coin din kasi, um, RH bill could also be helpful to in some circumstances kasi. Say for example, yung women ay may sakit sa somewhere dun sa ano sa body niya ganyan.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that and she could not actually be get pregnant. So kasi kapag nabuntis siya, there could be a tendency na ikamamatay niya. Kasi there are some like that, 'di ba?
Yes.
Especially yung mga nagka-cause ng hemorrhage, mga ganyan. So there could be a tendency na ikamatay niya. So ang right kasi, ang choice kasi dun or other option dun is to take birth control. So yun. So yun yung possibility. Yun kailangan din somehow i-reconsider dun sa RH bill kasi hindi naman porket sinabing tawag dito masama na totally masama talaga
Yes.
yung tingin doon. Hindi porket sinabing contraceptives ang gagamitin na totally masama siya. There could also be a good thing from using these contraceptives kasi due to health reasons.
Yes.
Yun.
And it will all boil down to proper implementation and
Yes.
our own discipline in terms
Mm-mm.
of accepting all these new laws. So,
Mm-mm.
kung as early as, I mean, right now we are struggling with
Mm-mm.
following ECQ, right? So,
Mm-mm.
it's all up to us. We have to be more disciplined citizens.
Exactly.
So,
Oo. Tama naman. Kasi regardless kasi nandiyan na yung law, regardless kasi na may protocol na ganyan. If we are still not following that law or protocol, wala pa ring mangyayari kasi siya.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still
Yun.
up for discussion. So, let's just
Mm-mm.
hope for the best, both sides.
Yes. Exactly. Hi Zandro Nicole and hi Samuel Labid. Yan. Gusto ka raw ni Samuel Labid. I like Cavite, sabi niya. And
Feeling
my
ko like
friend
din
says,
kita.
yeah.
Ganon.
And sabi ng friend ko na si Elver, sabi niya, you are his MUP.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. He's living from Cavite. He's living in Cavite actually.
Saan po
Ayan.
sa Cavite?
Naik.
I'm from Silang, by the way. Oh, Naik.
Oy, maganda sa Silang.
Nako,
Ayun yung
dinadaanan
pinya.
nyo lang yun papuntang Tagaytay. Alam ko,
Tagaytay.
kilala ko kayo.
Uy, ano ka ba? Pumunta ako sa Silang.
Papinya.
Papinya. No, pakolets.
Pakolets. Pabukupay.
Di ba? Okay, may tanong si Ames. How do you pronounce this? Malyare. Malyare. Oh my God. Ames Malyare, sabi niya. Some scientists believe they can clone human beings. Should we?
That's a really tough question because I like technological advancements such as this. It intrigues me so much. But I don't think we're at a point of our lives where we can fully accept cloning another human. Not unless it's for medical purposes. Let's say cloning a body for the sole purpose of getting organs for donations, things like that. But not so much for cloning for the intention of just cloning. So I don't think we are ready for that yet. If there is a way for us to reproduce specific organs through cloning, then why not? It's still too advanced to tell.
Yeah, so yun. Even I myself siguro, I don't want
Diba? Parang hindi pa ready.
Yeah, oo. Parang hello, parang magkakaroon ako ng katulad ko baka mamaya yun
Exactly.
pa magkakalat na.
Hindi na natin matatawag na unique yung sarili natin.
Totoo. Okay, so can we talk about your advocacy?
Sure. Okay.
So what's about your advocacy?
Sorry.
Can you,
So it's an acrostic. It's WIN #win. W is for women empowerment. I is for individual advocacy towards nature and wildlife preservation and awareness. So it's all about tackling how women have power into shaping the status of our environment. Why? Because women at home, let's just say at home, they run the household. A female figure runs the household, whether it be your mom, your lola, your auntie, or your nanny, your yaya at least. They all have a say on what goes on at home, and the sole rule of segregating your trash, not using single use plastic, is already can make a big impact if done collectively. So this is a rule that can be imposed by women, since we are the figure that people look upon at a home level. So can you imagine how it's gonna work if this goes on a bigger scale. So this
Mm-mm.
is what I want to start. I want to start a discussion about how big of an impact women can have towards environmental purposes.
Mm-mm. Well, micro effects can actually lead to macro
Yes.
effects, di ba?
Sabi nga ni Miss Karen Basco.
Yes. Diba? At least. Yeah. So we have another question here. Given today's worldwide refugee crisis, do countries have an obligation to accept refugees, or do they have a right to close their borders? This is a question actually for Miss France during Miss Universe 2016 here in the
Mhm.
Philippines. Mm.
Well, I cannot remember her answer. Sayang, kukunin ko sana. But
Yeah.
technically, let's just see this on a human level. We should help people as much as we could if we can. And if a country can actually help these refugees, then why not? Why
Mm.
why um why keep your resources to yourselves when you actually can share it to them and when you have enough? This is a common thing for everyone because we are all fighting for survival, but um we all have a right in this world, and I think we should help as much as we can.
Mm. Ayun. So, let's try to help. Mhm. Kasi wala namang masama kung i-open mo sila yung ano
Exactly.
di ba? Wala namang
Not
masama
unless
As
you're
long,
really
as,
struggling.
hindi, ito pa, as long as may space, di ba?
Yeah, and then why else would they run to your country if they don't
Di ba?
know, if they know that you can't help?
Di ba? Oo. So, parang ano lang yan, parang, tawag dito, isang poor na ano na tao na kumakatok lang sa pintuan mo na humihingi ng
For a
pagkain,
meal. Yes.
'di ba? Oo. So ganun lang 'yun. And Filipinos are known to be very welcoming. So I don't think any problem about that, 'di ba?
I agree. Mm.
Mm-mm. So ayan, sabi ni Charlie Hernando, this is a question for you, Billy, not for me. If there's one part of our history which you would want to witness personally, so parang time machine,
Mhm.
what would that be and why?
I want to see the first raising of our flag.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very important moment in the country. It's a very symbolic event, and
Mm-hmm.
if I will be given a chance to see and witness it in person, I would be very much honored, and I think it will affect and improve my patriotism and my love for this country.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ako rin. Parang gusto ko yung
Diba? Parang
balikan
sobrang
yung,
emotional na
oo,
after all the wars and after all the fighting, you see your flag being raised, and yeah,
mm-mm.
you have your sovereign over your country, and
Yung liberty, di ba? Nafe-feel mo
yes,
yung liberty na, oh, I'm freedom. Yung I'm free, parang ganun na, di ba?
this is our land
Oh,
now.
oo, oo, di ba? Ayun. So, ako rin, if ever na kaya nabalikan ko yung ano, yung nakaraan, I would really wanted to witness that particular moment. Mm. Ayan. Thank you so much for all the questions. And yeah, thank you so much, Billy, for that. Thank you for answering all those questions. And yeah,
Thank you
thank you so
also.
much for the inputs. Yeah. Yeah.
Talk
And
show kasi to,
Billy,
guys. Hindi siya Q&A session. It's a talk show.
and Billy, would you like to invite everyone as well? And yeah, would you like to promote your social media, your projects? Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I didn't introduce myself at the beginning. But I'm Billie Hakenson, and I am representing the province of Cavite for the Miss Universe Philippines 2020. And for those of you who haven't followed my Instagram and Facebook page yet, it's just Billie Hakenson. So just hit it up, and there you will see some of the things that I've been working on during the ECQ. And you will also see updates from Miss Universe PH from my page. So
Mhm.
I hope you watch out for that. I hope for your continuous support, and I hope you all are doing okay and you're staying safe. I know for some of you guys, your place is already on GCQ and you're already allowed to go out, but still take extra precaution, and
Mhm.
I hope you all stay safe.
Thank you so much once again. Thank you so much for staying with us or for tuning with us. So later after this at around 6 p.m. we will have the Correlia Mr. I'm sorry, Mon Hunt Philippines 2019. Okay, and yes, we still have more guests to come. So please stay tuned with Pageant Mag Philippines. And once again, Billy, thank you so much for
Thank you, Sir
yeah, for
Francois.
accepting our invitation. Oh, sir. For accepting my
It's more
invitation.
formal.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much once again.